This is a Hot Pie Media original.
Oh, man, this was a terrible few minutes for an old man that didn't know any better. I don't like saying that, and I have no problem with you saying, but Jeff, the guy's on a talk show. How can he say that? Let me answer that part. He's 90. Wait a minute, Jeff, is that an excuse? Kind of, yes. I know Gil Brandt. You don't. I've known Gil Brandt a long, long time. Gil Brandt was, I guess I can still say is, I mean, all things considered, 90. He's still pretty sharp. I know it's hard to make the argument right now after the few minutes that he's had, and I think it's over, and it should be over. But Gil Brandt is a brilliant football mind and an awful, and underline it, awful talk show host. He was awful before he went over his skis. So no, you're not going to get any argument from me about the ability to host a talk show. I've been shocked, and I know him, and I like him, and but he's an awful talk show host, and I think it's time for soup. But I'll tell you this much. Gil Brandt and Tom Landry is a football historian that I am. And I don't mean to nerd out on you too much, but I'm not kidding when I say this, that Gil Brandt and Tom Landry largely created the modern game that is so popular now. I can nerd out over a bottle of wine and tell you all the reasons why, all the innovations, all the things that they did that are common today. They are the most innovative two people football probably has ever had. That's pretty high praise, I know. But everything about that game today, everything that's successful about the game, the science of the game, the science of football is largely because of Tom Landry and Gil Brandt. Tom Landry, of course, the head coach of the Cowboys, and Gil Brandt was a vice president of the Cowboys who ran scouting. Landry was an on-field genius. The guy fired me, and I can still say he's an on-field genius. He fired me in the most epic kind of way one time. It was beautiful. I mean, most people in the football business, I used to get fired a lot. I get fired and rehired a lot. Most of them just take your stuff, and you just go, oh, I guess I'm done here. Next town, please. You go to your locker, your stuff's gone. They knock on the door and say, can we have the playbook back? That's how you get fired. He fired me to my face, which was kind of cool. But I will tell you, I'm such a football scientist nerd. I would go and sit in on some of the meetings just to listen to him because it was phenomenal to hear the guy break down a game. The science of the game it was remarkable. He told me, he says, Jeff, as I'm fired, after playing in Candlestick Park, which might be the coldest place I've ever been on the planet, football teaches you some lessons. I said, oh, is that right, Coach? That's great now. Because, yeah, you wake up every day with a bloody nose. I saunter out. What the hell? Well, you know what? At least he fired me to my face. Didn't take my stuff and knock on the door and say, here's your plane ticket, which is usually the way it happens every Tuesday on payday. So, and Gil Brandt was this brilliant scientific mind that brought scouting and science of scouting into the modern age. He was a pioneer. And there's no way anyone who's going to want to hear what I'm saying now, but Gil Brandt, on the other side of the science of football, and that is finding talent, cultivating talent, he was a pioneer in scouting and signing players from small black colleges long before anyone else was doing it. He was a pioneer. I mean, really was. Those two guys created the modern game. And their innovations were light years ahead of their time. Now, I can't say that I excuse him for the few minutes that he had over the weekend. Oh, boy. Yeesh. Old man. It was a dumpster fire of a talk show. He's too old and too out of touch, and it caught up with him. It really did. It was an awful few minutes. You have to know, I know his analysis. I know of him. I know how his brain works. I know he doesn't really have too many other thoughts. And I mean this in kind of a sincere old man kind of way. All he knows, and all he's known for, my God, probably 60 years, is you bring up a name, he breaks down their football ability. Like he doesn't know. I don't know that he knows anything else. And so you just drop a name, and he has this amazing photographic memory. But he will start spitting out details about the prospect. Unfortunately, in this case, the kid's dead. Died that day. Bad timing, bad look, bad comments, train wreck. It's over, old man. Soup. It's time for soup. John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce, now in all 50 states and several retail outlets as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to let this social media rock star chef walk us through 4 different sauces, and then I'll taste, and we'll tell everyone why they should buy. You can give the science behind these, and then I'll make the simple recommendation. Go to atxhotsauce.com. All right,
I don't think anybody's heard the website.
Yeah, I know.
By you, Jeff, but it is atxhotsauce.com.
I'll say
I got that one right.
45 times, atxhotsauce.com. So let's do it.
I brought 4 flavors here, and we're going to test your palate today. Okay. And I only brought 4 because I didn't think you could handle 5 or 6.
Yes,
probably a smart move. Yeah. And so the first one we're going to try here, it's called Beet Heat. And just like the name implies, it has beets in it. It's made with red Fresno peppers. Red Fresnos are red peppers that are they're hotter than a jalapeno and a little bit less than a serrano. So not super hot here, just a lot of really good flavor. So we're going to start with this one, and then we're going to move up the chain.
Okay. I've had the Beet Heat, but okay.
Yeah, we're going to try it though.
It goes well with a cab. All right, Jeff's savoring Beet
I'll
Heat.
even do it with you, so that should be all right. Now remember, it is hot sauce.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's hot sauce. Trust me, man.
Wait, is that one hot to you?
No, a little.
Yeah. The great thing with the fermentation process is you get a bunch of the flavor right up front.
Yeah.
And then the heat comes, but then it dissipates pretty quickly, especially with the red Fresnos. You know, this is not a very spicy one, but it is a very tasty one. Goes on great on sandwiches.
Beet Heat.
Beet Heat. B-E-E-T. Heat.
All right. Go to atxhotsauce.com.
That's right.
Dwayne Haskins has a world of talent as a football player, is a backup quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was hit by a dump truck. And I'm saying he really got hit by a dump truck. He got killed after a workout. I don't know where, I haven't read yet where he was jogging, but he tried to cross and a dump truck hit him early in the morning. It's a horrible story. I mean, it's unbelievable. Now, this kid, many people would say, as a football player, as a talent, has been underachieving. So Gil Brandt doesn't know anything else. I've been amazed because I listen and I nerd out on the football talk, and I know Gil, but I'm amazed he's lasted as long as he has. So all they did was bring up Dwayne Haskins, who died that morning. And I probably could have filled in the blanks for you ahead of time. I know where his brain is going. This is not going to end well. Sure enough, it ended horribly, and now it is time for soup.
Analyzed him over the years at Ohio State and coming into the league with the Washington Commanders and then going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Obviously, it's a terrible tragedy, and what wanted your thoughts on that, and also on the player, because you did chronicle his career very closely.
Well, Dan, I hate anytime anybody is killed or anybody dies. But he was a guy that was living to be dead, so to speak. They told him, don't under any circumstances leave school early. You just don't have the work habits. You don't have this. You don't have that. What did he do? Left school early. I always can remember this. We invited players to the draft, and he was one of the players we invited to the draft. And we were told, no, we're going to have our own party. His own party was a party at the bowling alley, charged him $50 to get into the bowling alley for his party. It was always something, It's one of those things. I'm never offside, but they keep calling me for offside. Is what it is. So, it's a tragic thing. Anytime anybody dies, it's tragic. And especially when you're 24 years old and you got your whole life ahead of you. Maybe if he'd have stayed in school a year, he wouldn't do silly things. I mean, when you're jogging on the highway.
Make it stop, man. Cut him off,
like
fools.
that leaves it open, because I tell you, it's so. Guy has 2 drinks and he's just a little bit to the right side of the road, and gets hit and killed. It's easy to happen.
No. Living to die? Shoot. I didn't see it ended up that badly, but the times that I've listened, I've thought, why is he on there? What are they doing? Sirius XM, what are you doing? Read back his stuff. Don't let him talk. Oh, man. Yeah, that would be a train wreck. And can we agree? Can we now? I mean, even if what he said didn't say things like he was living to die, he was very critical of how the kid went about preparing for the NFL. Again, for the old man, I know him. That's all he knows. All he knows. I mean, you could say Jeff Ward, and all he would know is the player, how he practices, where he's from, his height, weight. I mean, that's all he would know. And I know that's hard to take in, but that is a combination of being really, really way too old, where you can barely finish the sentence, and being completely disconnected. And please just save everyone, including him, and get him the soup and get him off. Enough.
Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all of our other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home online at hotpiemedia.com, the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.